This is Shalom World Podcast.
Go! Looks like he won't last till Calvary. Look at him. Hey you! Come here!
I refused at first. I refused to even go near him or his cross. I didn't want any part in it. I had committed no crime to be made to carry that cross. Why would I help someone sentenced to death on a cross to carry it? Why should I bear all this shame? Why should I share in his punishment? These questions, they kept running through my head when I was asked to help him carry the cross. I knew he was being led to be crucified. I saw what they did to his body. His body was dripping blood, with his flesh torn apart from the scourging. My heart felt nothing at all that could make me want to help him through his suffering. But there was this one moment after they had forced the cross onto me, and as I started to walk, he looked at me. And then I felt his gaze. The gaze of the Messiah, the Lord looking right into my heart. This gaze of his brought so much light into my life that it dispelled the dark clouds of sin that kept me away from seeing what he was doing for me. Upon the cross, he was carrying the weight of my sins. I was not the one who was being unjustly condemned. It was him. Every whip on his body was for my sins. The blood that he shed was to save me. The punishment that he took upon himself on the cross was mine and yours. Yet how many times have we chosen to simply run away from his cross? How many times have we refused to take up the cross? Today, if you hear his voice, let us harden not our hearts. He doesn't give us any pain, any suffering, or any cross that we cannot carry. And he doesn't make us carry it on our own. Rather, he walks with us, by our side, accompanying us in our journey.
For we have not a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sinning.
Simon's initial response of refusal came from his fear of the cross and the shame that is attached to it. But the one gaze of the Messiah could open his eyes and his heart to embrace the cross. This very cross, which was a sign of condemnation, is today the sign of victory over death itself. You might know the story of God the Father walking with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and how he had put them out of the garden after the fall. But have you opened the ears of your heart to hear the Messiah, God who has become man, calling you to walk by him, taking up your cross? He calls you today to walk by him. Let us ask for the grace to open our hearts to his call. If our fears and our pride have ever made us back off from taking up the cross and accepting his call to walk by him, let us pray to the Father to give us the grace and the love to overcome those fears and those elements of pride, and to take up our cross and walk with the Messiah.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified
Shalom World Podcast is now available on all online platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and others.